Hi, this is The Mysterious Death of Lil Peep. No idea. Clip plays first, then I give my reaction. Here we go.
Lil Peep was an American rapper from New York, most commonly known for his somewhat unique style of music, blending hip-hop with emo and punk. He was born in Pennsylvania, but moved to New York as a young boy where he was raised until his teen years. He began releasing music back in 2014, gaining success relatively quickly alongside his longtime friend and collaborator, Lil Tracy. Though the bulk of Peep's success came after the release of his Come Over When You're Sober album, which was released in August of 2017. This album got Peep onto the Billboard Top 200 charts, and his music began to turn the heads of many record labels and music executives. However, this success was very short-lived, as just 3 months later, on November 15th, 2017, Peep was found dead on his tour bus of a drug overdose caused by fentanyl-laced Xanax. Peep was a known drug user for many years. He commonly posted about his drug use on social media and spoke about it in interviews frequently. His most commonly used substances were psychedelic mushrooms, opiates, and Xanax.
And
he claimed in the early days of his success that he began taking Xanax so that he wouldn't be so nervous on stage, though it's assumed that his drug use spiraled out of control from there. Peep's music struck chords with many young adult listeners, as his lyrics spoke predominantly about depression, anxiety, and the feeling of being an outcast. He's been described as the voice for the millennial generation. Though contrary to his goth boy persona, his family paints a much different picture of his life and mental state. According to both Peep's mother and brother, Peep was actually a very happy person. In an interview recorded shortly after Peep's death, his brother recalled how Peep claimed that much of his image was simply a put-on, and that he oftentimes faked his onstage persona, considering himself an actor. Though many of Peep's closest friends who were in the music business insist that his family was out of the loop in regards to Peep's life, and that in the months leading up to his death, Peep was at an all-time low. He was unhappy with the direction that his life was heading, unhappy with his alleged drug addiction, and unhappy with the people around him. In some of his final posts on social media, he stated, "When I die, you'll love me. I just want to be everybody's everything. I want too much from people, but then I don't want anything from them at the same time. I have my pills, but that's temporary. One day, maybe I'll die young and I'll be happy. I'm getting so tired of this." Only hours after these posts, Peep was found dead in his tour bus. Upon the discovery of his body, police began searching through Peep's social media history and phone history, and located a girl who is believed to have been the last person to have seen Peep alive. According to a text message conversation, she gave Peep the fentanyl-laced Xanax that ultimately led to his passing. A direct quote from her conversation regarding that evening reads, "He passed out. My brother called and I tried to get him to say hi, but he wouldn't wake up. He's high AF because of me and my friend." These messages also sparked the interest of the DEA, who conducted an investigation into both Peep's death and the young woman who supplied him with the drug. A toxicology report concluded that Peep's blood contained cocaine, marijuana, hydrocodone, hydromorphone, oxycodone, oxymorphone, tramadol, and fentanyl. The medical examiner's office ruled his death as accidental, but police labeled the preliminary findings as suspicious. So is it possible that Peep may have been intentionally killed? Well, according to an anonymous man and investigators, the girl responsible for supplying Peep with the tainted Xanax was Mariah Bones. According to an anonymous text message history, Mariah had nearly killed her ex-boyfriend with tainted Xanax as well, though the messages seemed to indicate that he and Peep were not her only proposed victims, with the anonymous user stating that police had dealt with her several times in the past and considered her a person of interest, strictly due to the amount of people who had fallen ill from the drugs that she'd supplied them with. The unknown user stated that he was willing to go to police to supply them with any evidence that he possibly could, though there's no indication online as to whether this meeting actually ever took place. Ultimately, police let Mariah go without any charges. In response to this, other big-named artists in the business, specifically Post Malone, spoke out against the girl that supplied Peep with the Xanax, calling for her to be more heavily investigated due to her past. Though to this day she remains a free woman, and Peep's death has been revised and concluded as accidental, with all the evidence against Mariah Bones being cast aside. Since Peep's death, his record label has released a part 2 to his debut album, Come Over When You're Sober. He also has an album with collaborator Makonnen as well as Fishnark, both of which are expected to be released by the end of 2019. A documentary titled Everybody's Everything has also been completed, with the creators of the film currently seeking distribution.
I have to watch that.
Even though Peep's physical life has faded, his music continues to live on, with his songs and lyrics being far more popular today than they ever were during his natural life. His music has touched the souls of millions of listeners, and his lyrics have given a voice to those who would have otherwise remained silenced. In his death, Peep has given hope to thousands of the hopeless, and his music has helped preserve the lives of countless listeners by showing that they're not alone in their feelings of doubt, depression, and alienation. While his physical body is passed on, his words will forever echo in the minds of those who truly needed his comfort and encouragement.
This is some sad shit. I'm sorry, I don't normally cuss. Yeah, I don't, yeah. That was enlightening and depressing as hell. When I think of Gus, I think of wasted or untapped potential. Just think of it like this. If he had lived 10 more years, what he could have accomplished. He was already ahead of his time, and his age, he was ahead of that too. Anyway, if you are new, please go ahead, subscribe, hit the notification button. I will see you, my newfound friend, in my next video. Take care of yourself.